Good afternoon, dear students, grade 9 students. Welcome to this seminar. We are going to present Unit 5 for you. At the beginning, allow me to thank Mr. Rafif Youssef, the director of the session. Audio, Mr. Baha Rizq. Recording, Sleiman Fati. Cameraman, Basim Hassan. And electronic writing, Youssef At-Turk. And allow me to introduce my colleagues in the studio. Ms. Ula Al-Mu'i, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Always a pleasure.
English Language Supervisor, Tartus Directorate. And Ms. Ula Sobh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Majid.
English Language Teacher, Tartus Directorate. And this is me, Abdul Majid Ogorli, Senior Supervisor and Coordinator of English Language in the Ministry of Education. We're going to start with the lesson plan. Ms. Ula Al-Mu'i is going to tell us about the lesson plan, please.
Okay, the lesson for today is about making decisions. So we're going to start as usual with the listening section, talking about stories that made difference in people's lives. Then we're going to move on to speaking to discuss about how to make decisions and the steps to follow. With the reading section, we have a text from the student's book and a text from the activity book, again about how to make decisions. With the vocabulary, we have some vocabs that are related to the text, and with the grammar we have simple past and past progressive. We have a section that is related to pronunciation, and the sound we're going to learn is pronounced like a. And then we can finish with the writing section, how to write a paragraph, and writing a paragraph about making decision or about a visit or whatever it is.
Okay, so let's start with the listening. As usual, we always say we have 4 skills. We start usually with the listening skill. It is the most important skill,
Of course.
since if we don't understand what the other person is telling us, we won't be able to
use it.
communicate. So we are going to listen first time for general meaning, then we're going to listen a second time for details. Let's start with the first time.
I want to talk about a decision I made that has changed my life forever. One of the most important decisions I made was to give up soda. I know that it seems like such a tiny decision, but it truly has changed my life. I gave up soda about a month and a half as a healthy step. At first, I thought it was going to be really hard giving it up, but after the first 2 weeks, I wasn't thinking about soda at all. I started eating better, exercising more, and just living a better life. Later, I noticed how healthier my life became. I lost 10 kilograms by cutting out soda. I wanted to give advice for those who were in the same situation as I was. Whenever you want to give up something that you think you can't live without, it really depends on how dependent you are on what you are giving up. My friends also really helped me by reminding me of the reason why I was doing it. I don't regret my decision whatsoever. I hope you are inspired by my story to give up something that is bad for you.
Sorry. So this was the first time. It was about a person who is
John making a decision to give up something that is bad for him, which is soda.
soda, yes. Now we have 4 questions. Let's listen a second time as usual, and then students are going to do the exercise.
I want to talk about a decision I made that has changed my life forever. One of the most important decisions I made was to give up soda. I know that it seems like such a tiny decision, but it truly has changed my life. I gave up soda about a month and a half as a healthy step. At first, I thought it was going to be really hard giving it up, but after the first 2 weeks, I wasn't thinking about soda at all. I started eating better, exercising more, and just living a better life. Later, I noticed how healthier my life became. I lost 10 kilograms by cutting out soda. I wanted to give advice for those who were in the same situation as I was. Whenever you want to give up something that you think you can't live without, it really depends on how dependent you are on what you are giving up. My friends also really helped me by reminding me of the reason why I was doing it. I don't regret my decision whatsoever. I hope you are inspired by my story to give up something that is bad for you.
Well, Let's do now the exercises. Students are going just to write false or
True.
true. Number 1, Miss Ula.
The first one is John's decision was to give up soda, and this is correct. True.
True. So the first one is true. Number 2, Miss Ula Subh.
Yeah. Number 2, he gave up soda 2 months ago as a healthy step. This is false. It was a month and a half.
A month and a half, yes. Number 3,
Number 3, John's life changed to the better, and this is true.
yes. And number 4, Miss Ula Subh.
Yeah. Number 4, he lost 15 kilos by cutting out soda. This is false. He lost
False.
10 kilos
10
actually.
10 kilos. Again, we have another listening, which is about the activity book, Bill's decision about the shoulder operation. Let's listen, and after we listen, we are going to do another exercise.
Bill is a baseball player. He had a problem with his shoulder. It prevented him from playing well, but he could still play most of the time. He had to stay out once in a while to give his shoulder a rest. His doctor said he needed an operation in order to be completely cured if it was successful. But there were some chances that the operation may fail. Bill would have to quit playing if the operation failed. It was hard for Bill to decide what to do as he had 5 years left in his baseball career. Finally, Bill decided to do this operation and fight until the last breath. After several weeks, Bill had the operation. Fortunately, it succeeded and he returned to play baseball. He says that when life wants to bring you down, you have to be brave and make a great decision that will change your life.
Well, let's listen a second time, and after we listen the second time, we are going to do the exercise.
Bill is a baseball player. He had a problem with his shoulder. It prevented him from playing well, but he could still play most of the time. He had to stay out once in a while to give his shoulder a rest. His doctor said he needed an operation in order to be completely cured if it was successful. But there were some chances that the operation may fail. Bill would have to quit playing if the operation failed. It was hard for Bill to decide what to do as he had 5 years left in his baseball career. Finally, Bill decided to do this operation and fight until the last breath. After several weeks, Bill had the operation. Fortunately, it succeeded and he returned to play baseball. He says that when life wants to bring you down, you have to be brave and make a great decision that will change your life.
Good. Again, it was about a decision making. We have questions. Choose the correct answer, A, B, or C. Number 1.
Yes, number 1, if the operation was successful, he would be cured. Letter A, partly, B, completely, and C, never. The answer is completely, letter B. He would be completely cured.
Completely cured. Letter B. Number 2, Miss Ula Subh.
Yeah. Number 2, there, that the operation may fail. A, were no chances. B, was one chance. Or C, were some chances. It's C, there were some chances.
Some chances that the operation may fail.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3, he decided to until the last breath. He decided to fight, he decided to run, or he decided to play, and the answer is letter A.
Fight.
He decided to fight.
He decided to fight. Now, we come to the speaking part. Usually the teacher in the classroom needs to have this exercise. Sometimes we show a picture and we ask the students to talk about it. Sometimes the teacher says, imagine a situation and talk about it. Or the teacher can depend on the listening skill part. For example, now it is about decision making.
Yeah.
The teacher can ask the students to talk about decision making, about a decision they have ever made, or so on.
And it can be followed by a writing exercise.
Yes.
After finishing asking the question, you can write about a decision you have made.
Here we have a question saying, discuss with a partner the following questions. This is for speaking. It is easy for you to make a decision.
Is it easy for you
easy?
to make a
It's a
decision?
question. What steps do you usually follow when making important decisions? Whom do you ask about before you make important decisions? Have you ever changed your decision? So these questions can be talked about in the speaking section. We come to reading. Learn a skill and work with a will. Wisdom is knowing what to do. Next, skill is knowing how to do it, and virtue is doing it, said by David Starr Jordan. Do you want to read, or shall I read? As you like.
It's up to you.
So, as you like. Well, I'm going to read.
Okay.
Learn a skill and work with a will. We make thousands of decisions a day. Making a choice is easy. Choosing well takes knowledge and skill. You have many decision-making examples in daily life, such as deciding what to wear, what to eat for lunch, what task to do next, choosing which book to read, etc. Decision-making is an ongoing process in every aspect of life, large or small. The ability to make a decision and stick to it is the cornerstone of good leadership skills. Having critical thinking skills allows one to ascertain the problem and come up with a suitable and beneficial solution. Before taking a step, we must try to see where possible potholes are. This won't just make us stronger moving forward. It will also give us more determination and awareness about what we are deciding. The decision-making tools help you to map out all the possible alternatives to your decision, its chances of success or failure. So to make a decision, you must first identify the problem you need to solve or the question you need to answer. What also prevents effective decision-making is when you do not have enough information about your decision. In this case, you are making a decision without any basis. Teamwork helps you to make the right decision. You must collaborate with your family members and classmates at some point to make your right decision. Time management is very important since decisions need to be made quickly sometimes. You have to outline the amount of time you have to make your decision. Also, organization is vital in your making a final decision. You should use this skill to find out what results you're looking for and if it's a top priority. Questions?
Thank you.
Usually, for the teachers, don't ask the students to read aloud. If you have a CD, it's a good idea to make the CD start and the students listen to it. You may read as a teacher and they listen, following with their eyes, and the best way is to make the students read silently to comprehend. Question number 1.
Question number 1. Making a decision is A. A one-step procedure, B. A continuous process, C. Complicated, D. Concerned with serious issues only. It's letter B. It's a continuous process.
Continuous process. Number 2, Miss Ola Subh.
Number 2, the one who has the ability to make a decision and stick to it is a person with good A. Education, B. Communication skills, C. Leadership skills, or D. Earnings. Of course, it's C. Leadership skills.
Leadership skills. This is from the text.
Yes, of
Because
course.
the student may say education is important, also communication
Yeah,
skills.
according to the text.
According to the text, it is mentioned that leadership skills. Number 3.
Number 3, to ascertain the problem and come up with a suitable and beneficial solution, one needs to have A. Critical thinking skills, B. Alternatives to your decision, C. Many problems, or D. Possible potholes. It's A. Critical thinking
Critical
skills.
thinking skills.
Again, based on the text.
Yes. Number 4, Miss Ola Subh.
I don't have number 4 here. Okay. So number 4, the first step in the decision-making process is to A. Map out all the possible alternatives. B. Answer the questions. C. See where possible potholes are. Or D. Identify the problem. It's D. Identify the problem.
Yes. Identify the problem. Number 5.
Number 5, when you do not have enough information about your decision, this prevents A. Mapping out alternatives, B. Effective decision making, C. Finding the problem, or D. Making a decision. It prevents effective decision making. Letter B.
Letter B. Yes.
Okay. Number 6. Because decisions need to be made quickly, sometimes it is essential to have good A. Results, B. Collaboration, C. Time management, or D. Teamwork. It's time management. C.
Time management. Right. Now we have another question, which is decide if the following statements are true or false. Number 1.
Number 1, according to David Starr Jordan, the one you read the quote from, making good decisions needs knowledge and skills, and this is true.
True. So
Okay.
the first one is true.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 2.
What prevents decision making is when you don't have enough information about your decision. This is also true.
Yes. Just to give a hint, we have on the screen, it is written that it is for grade 12. It is for grade 9.
9.
Actually, the lesson is from grade 9's book. It is unit 5. Grade 9, unit 5, not grade 12. Just for your knowledge.
Number 3, after taking a step, we must try to see where potholes are. This is 4. It's before taking a step.
Yes.
Okay. And
Number
number 4, organization is vital in your making a final decision. This is true. Absolutely.
True. So the first one is true, the second one is true, the third one is false, and the last one, number 4, is true. Late to go back. Again, who wants to read?
It's up to you.
Okay, please, Ms. Saula.
Okay.
Read.
Late to go back. This is about Sam. Sam walked into a cake shop after he'd finished his work to buy his daughter a birthday cake. It was about 4 o'clock and the store usually closes at 5. So he should make his mind quickly and decide what he should buy. Sam asked himself, which one should I choose? He began wandering in the shop, watching the various kinds of cakes which were kept in the refrigerators around. The cakes looked very delicious and tasty, so it was difficult for Sam to choose. Time was passing, but in vain. Sam couldn't decide yet, when he heard the chef saying, "Come on, hurry up, please. We are about to close the store." "No, wait, please. I should choose the most suitable and delicious cake," Sam said sorrowfully. Sam's eyes kept moving from one refrigerator to another, but all of the options looked so good and he couldn't make a decision yet. Try to be quick, man. Make up your mind. We have to close, the impatient chef said. Suddenly, the chef had enough and asked Sam to leave immediately. Sam walked out of the shop empty-handed, feeling depressed and frustrated. He wanted them all, but ended up with nothing because he couldn't choose any. Think of what happened to Sam. It's just what we're all, Sam, and the word is that cake shop. We have extremely large numbers of options available to us, but if we don't make a decision about our career, education, relationships, investments, or other important issues, we end up empty-handed. Sometimes we worry about making the wrong decision. What if we regret the direction that we take and it's too late to go back? The real danger is that we make no decision at all and end up going nowhere and doing nothing.
Thank you. We come to questions. Read and choose A, B, C, or D.
Yeah.
Number 1, Sam went to a shop to buy his daughter a, is it souvenir, cake, dress, or a bag?
It's a cake.
A cake. So the right answer is a cake. He wanted to buy a cake. Number 2, Mr. Al-Almway.
Number 2, before the shop closed, Sam had 1 hour, 5 minutes, no time or a day. He had 1 hour.
1 hour. The correct answer is he had 1 hour before the shop was going to close. Number 3,
Number
Mr.
3,
Al-Asl.
yes. Number 3, it was difficult for Sam to choose because A, he had no time, B, a man didn't allow that, C, the owner wasn't helping him, or D, the cakes looked very delicious. Of course, it's D, the
D.
cakes looked very delicious.
They all looked very delicious, so he couldn't make
Make
a
up his mind.
decision. Number 4.
Number 4, in the end, Sam left the shop empty-handed, with a nice dress, happy and satisfied, or with a refrigerator. Well, he left the shop empty-handed.
Empty-handed. He didn't buy anything. Now, decide if the following are true or false. Number 1, Ms. Al-Asl.
Yes. Number 1, there are no options available to us in this world. This is false.
False.
The world
We have
is
a lot
full of options.
Yes. Number 2,
Number 2, if you make the right decision, you will regret it. Of course not. This is false.
false. Number 3,
Number 3, you may end up with nothing if you want to get all the options. Of course, this
True.
is true.
if you follow 2 rabbits, you catch neither.
Yeah.
Number 4,
Number 4, to be successful, you need to make up your mind. Of course, this is a leadership skill, so it is important. True.
true.
Number 5,
5,
Sam did what we all might do in life. This is true. We might all
True.
end up empty-handed if we don't make the right
a
decision.
lot of us have the same feeling. We don't know what to choose.
What's the best
and
choice
the
to take?
best of us are those who can choose quickly.
Yes, of course.
We come to vocabulary section. Number 1, Ms. Al-Almway.
Number 1, health officials have tried to raise priority, outline, potholes, or awareness. They tried to raise awareness. Raise
Awareness.
awareness.
Health officials tried to raise awareness. Number 2, Ms. Al-Asl.
Yeah. Number 2, my parents wouldn't me to go to the party. A, allow, B, outline, C, wander, D, collaborate. It didn't allow me, wouldn't allow me.
Allow.
Number 3, the
Yeah.
clubs is to win the league. The club's awareness, vein, priority, or investment. It's the club's priority.
Priority
Letter C.
is to win the league.
Yeah. Number 4, always write N for your essays. A, options, B, priority, C, awareness, or D, outline. Write an outline.
An outline for your essays. Number 5, elephants.
Number 5, elephants to look after their young. Elephants allow, collaborate, outline, or regret. Elephants, letter B, collaborate.
Collaborate. Nice animals. They collaborate to look after their young.
Yeah. Number 6, tickets are in the box office. A, various, B, available, C, delicious, or D, empty-handed. Well, tickets are available.
Available in the box office. 7.
7, earthquakes. Earthquakes are difficult to predict. So earthquakes are daily, sorrowfully, immediately, or extremely. It's letter D, they are extremely difficult to predict.
Extremely difficult. Last year, the same time, we had
Yes.
something like this. God
Yes,
forbid
exactly.
to happen again.
And they are difficult to predict. So
Yes,
No one can know.
Miss
Okay.
Al-Asl.
Number 8, don't do anything you might. A, stick, B, invest, C, regret, or D, ascertain. It's C, you might regret.
Regret. You might regret. Number 9.
number 9, we plan to buy some property as an A, investment, B, aspect, C, option, or D, education. It's letter A as an investment.
Investment. Investment.
Are students recommended to read the questions before the text or like after?
In my opinion,
Yeah.
it's before reading the text,
Before.
so
It
that
would
they
save
have
them
an
time.
idea. They have an idea about what they are going to look for in the text. Because usually, when I read the text before the question, I need to reread the text again after read the question so that I find the answers. So if I read the questions first,
You know exactly what you're looking
yes,
for.
I know exactly what I need to find in
Yeah.
the text. Thank you for this question. Grammar, past simple and past progressive.
Okay.
You lost your
No.
screen?
No, I lost nothing.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Start, please.
Okay, let's start with the past simple. With the form of the past simple, we have the positive form in which we have the second form of the verb. For example, like in this positive sentence, we have Sam walked into a cake shop, or they had lunch in a restaurant. It makes no difference between pronouns, so it's the same. We have the second form. We can add ed, or it's irregular. We just need to memorize it.
Yes,
So we use
need,
verb to.
yes, we
Verb
need to
to.
differentiate just between the regular and irregular
Exactly.
verbs.
With the negative, we add didn't, and after didn't, we use the
Verb zero.
verb zero of the verb. So Sam didn't walk into a cake shop, or they didn't have lunch in a restaurant.
Had is verb to.
Exactly,
The verb zero
so
of had is have.
Have. It's
So
not
they
has.
didn't have.
In any case, it's not
Yes.
has. Some students just mix up things. So the base form or the zero form, it's have. With the question, we invert the auxiliary verb and the subject. So we start with did, then we use subject and the zero form of the verb. So did Sam walk into a cake shop, or we can use the question word by adding, for example, where. Where did Sam walk into, for example. Did they have lunch in a restaurant, or where did they have lunch?
So we have two kinds of questions, yes, no questions, or WH questions.
question.
Usually, when we use the WH question, we omit the word we used
We are asking
WH
about.
Yeah.
for.
Of course, the piece of information.
Uses.
Yes.
Miss Olasov.
Yes. Okay, now for grade 9, the uses that we have for the simple past tense is number 1, we use the past simple tense to express an event that began and ended in a specific time in the past. So, and the second one is to talk about actions or processes that happened once or repeatedly in the past and that are completed. Keywords for that: yesterday, last month, last year, 2 weeks ago, in and a year, etc. And the example we have here: I bought a new car 2 months ago.
Bought is the second form
Yes.
of
The verb
verb
buy.
buy.
It's B-U-Y.
B-U-Y is the base form, and verb to is bought.
Now, we also use it for actions that happened consecutively in the past, which means one after the other in a short time. Example: Sue bought a book, went home and started to read it. Now, finally, when an action started in the past while another one was ongoing. Example: we were walking down the street when the accident happened.
Here we have interruption.
Yeah, interruption to actions.
An action that interrupted another action. We put the one that was going on in the past continuous, and the one that interrupted it in the past simple. The word consecutively, we have another word, succession. Succession and consecutively means
One follows the other.
verbs that one follow the other without time. For example, we say, I pointed at the taxi, it stopped, I got into it, and it took me to the airport. So
Yeah.
all the verbs follow each other. This is called succession. Past progressive, Ms. Ola
Now
Al-Mu'in.
again with the form of the past progressive, and again we have three forms: the positive, negative, and question. To start with, we need to use the pronoun with was or were and the verb in the ing form. For example, I was speaking or you were speaking. This is a simple form, of course. With the negative, because we have an auxiliary verb, verb to be, was or were, we just add not. So I was not speaking, you were not speaking. With the question, again, we have an auxiliary, so we invert. We use the was or were auxiliary verb, and then we use the subject. Was I speaking or were you speaking? Or again, we can add a question word like what were you doing? Or who was speaking, for example.
Yes. Well, we move to the uses.
Okay. Shall I start?
Yes, Ms. Ala al-Subh.
Okay. So
The past
now
progressive.
the past progressive tense is used when we talk about something which was happening at a specific time in the past.
It takes time.
It takes time. So we focus here on the action
On the
and the
duration.
period.
The
Yes,
duration.
the duration. So also an action going on at a certain time in the past. Example, he was playing football at 10 a.m. yesterday.
He started playing before it is
And it took him
10
some
a.m.
time.
And when it was 10 a.m. sharp,
He was still playing.
Yeah.
And he continued playing
and
after 10
continued
o'clock.
after that. But at the point in time, he was doing
In progress. It was
something
in progress.
continuously.
And another use is when we have two actions were happening at the same time and the actions do not influence each other.
Meaning is they don't interrupt.
Parallel actions.
Yes, they were going together
At the same time.
without interruption at the same time.
And here we should use while, I guess, not instead
Usually
of when.
we use while, usually.
Okay. Now, example, Anne was writing a letter while Steve was reading the newspaper. So here two actions were happening at the
At
same,
the same
time.
time,
parallel.
and they took time
Yes.
to happen.
Now, two actions occurring at the same time, but one action began earlier and was in progress when the other action occurred. Example, when I was having breakfast, the phone suddenly rang.
Here we have interruption.
Yeah, interruption.
Something was going on, another action happened during the first action, interrupted it. So
But it
we-
doesn't mean that it stopped
It
it.
stopped, yes. It means penetrated. Went on while the first one was going on. We call it cutting or interrupting.
Okay.
Not necessarily to stop it,
Yeah.
but happened during the other action was
And
going
it doesn't
on.
need time, like ringing or something that begins. It doesn't need time.
Maybe, even if it needs time. Coming, for example, we use it in the simple past and say, while we were watching TV, my friend Ola came.
Which one?
Both of you.
Okay. Now, the second example is, I was walking down the street when it began to rain.
Mhm.
So here again we have
Again, rain here takes time, but
Yes.
it beginning doesn't take time.
yeah, the beginning of the action of raining. Okay.
Well, now we come to an exercise. Actually, for grade 9 students, the simple present tense is important, the simple past tense is important, the present continuous is important, the past continuous is important. Also, we
Future,
have the
future.
passive voice,
Of course.
the passive
Wish,
voice,
reported speech,
reported speech, wish.
conditional
All these
sentences.
grammar issues are very important. Now, for this session, we are focusing on
Past simple
past
and past
simple
progressive.
and past continuous.
Before we move on, can I just ask you a question that I get to ask all the time by my students? Like with the simple past tense, okay? We can use like adverbs of frequency, right? To talk about like regular
For example,
actions
every
that
day.
happened in the past. So adverbs of frequency are not only related to the
present
present simple tense, right?
Thank you very much for saying this. Usually, the old way in teaching for a lot of teachers,
Yeah.
they tell their students, when you see always,
Yeah.
Present
choose
simple.
the
Go to the present simple tense.
But not necessarily,
Yeah.
because always can go with the simple
Past
present,
simple.
the simple
Even
past.
simple future, it can be.
For example, I
used.
say, I always swam in the river when I was 10.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can use it with the present perfect. I have always eaten
Yeah.
pizza.
And we can use it to the present continuous when complaining about something. You're
Yes.
always throwing your things on
When
the
we
ground.
have complaining, we use verb to be with always. It means something not good happening. And in the future,
I will
can say-
always,
I will always
Good.
love you.
for example.
So always does not mean only simple present. Thank you for
tense.
asking.
Yeah.
Adverse of frequency means that something was frequent, maybe in the past, maybe in the present. If it is in the present, it's simple present. Unless we are complaining. If we are complaining, we can use always with the present continuous to show complaining. She is always leaving her socks on the floor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here the meaning is I'm angry with her.
Yeah. I'm annoyed with this habit. It
And
means-
you can say he is always leaving his socks.
There are many misunderstandings or misconceptions, like when using for. For, it doesn't have to be present perfect. It can be again
It can
the
be with
simple
the simple
past.
past.
Yeah.
That's why we advise
Not
the
to rely on
teachers
the words.
not to say keywords
Exactly.
that come with this tense only.
Yeah.
Tell the students to elicit the grammar from
Comprehend.
context.
Exactly.
From the context.
Yeah.
So from the context, the keywords sometimes can help us,
Of course.
but we need to read the sentence or the question,
The context as
the
well.
context, and then we decide
Yeah.
if it is simple present or past simple or past continuous and so on. Thank you for mentioning this, Miss Ola Subh.
You're welcome.
Questions, choose A, B, C, or D. Number 1.
Okay, again, this is the form they're going to have in the exam. Alternatives for choices. Number 1, I to spend my holidays in Wales last year. Here we have something very clear, which is last year, no other terms or anything, anytime expressions that indicate anything else. So A, decide, B, decided, C, I'm deciding, or D, will decide. Since we have last year, it's going to be simple past, it's clear, so letter B, decided.
We can try every word separately. If I use letter A, decide, I decide, this is always, but it means a fact or a
I
habit.
always do that.
But since we have last year, we need to choose something in the past.
Yeah. Besides
Decided
that,
can go. Decided can go, and it is the correct answer. I am deciding, this is present continuous, does
And
not
this is a
go with
state
last year. And will decide is
It's
future
for future, and
This
we're talking
doesn't
about
go
the past.
with the past
Yeah.
last year. So the only choice accepted is decided.
Decided.
I decided to spend my holidays in Wales last year. Number 2.
Okay. Number 2, I traveled around by bike. I, the villages on the way and talk to people. A, visit. B, I'm visiting. C, visited, or D, will visit. And if I eliminate all the options that can't go with this, I would end up with visited, as we have here consecutive actions.
Yeah.
So
And here we need to let the students notice that here we don't have a keyword.
Yeah.
We don't have last or ago or any word that denotes the past, but we have
Another verb.
traveled.
yeah,
Traveled is simple past, so the sentence is in the past. From the word I traveled around by bike, it is in the past.
in the past.
So visit is simple present or base form. It doesn't go with traveled because traveled is past, so all the verbs should be in the past. I am visiting, as we said, doesn't go because we have the word traveled, which is in the sentence already, that tells us that sentence is
something
in the past. Visited can go, and it is the correct choice. Will visit is future, does
Future
not
again.
go with traveled. So that's how, as students, we can find the correct answer.
Yeah.
I visited. Number 3.
Number 3, while I was doing exams, my friends on the beach. So again, while is not something certain, but while indicates that two actions are happening at the same time. My friends lie, well, this is different verb with lie and lay, different verbs. They don't go anyway, present simple doesn't go in this sentence. Is lying, friends is plural, of course, is not working, and this is in the present continuous, and the sentence in the past, so it's not working. So we only have D, letter D, were lying. So while I was doing my exams, my friends were lying on the beach at the same time.
Two actions, took time, happening at the same time, no interruption. While actually can go with the present continuous, and when we have interruption, the other part can be
Past
simple
simple.
Past,
simple
yeah.
past. But in this case, We don't have any interruption. While I was doing exams, my friends
Where?
were
Lying
on the beach.
Yeah.
They were luckier than him,
Well,
maybe.
they're going
Depends.
to do exams very soon, so
It depends.
Maybe they did.
it's a destiny.
Yes.
Okay. Shall we go to number 4?
Yes.
Okay. So number 4, Omar TV when his mother entered the room. So here we have when.
Doesn't go. Now it goes. Now it is moving. I tried to move the slide,
Yeah.
but it didn't
not
until
working.
now. No, it responded.
Yeah, that
I
was
didn't.
a bad laptop.
No, it is good. It's yours.
Okay. So Omar TV when his mother entered the room. So here we have when and we have simple past tense. Now A, the options that we have here, watch, and it doesn't suit here. It doesn't fit as well. B, watched, was watching, or has watched. Of course, here we go with was watching.
Here, from the context,
Yeah.
we can understand that there is interruption. Because watch does not go because it's simple present. Watched. Omar watched when I entered
He can't
Yeah,
do that.
they don't relate it.
because
one
watched
moment.
means finished.
Yes.
Usually when we have two actions, one happening before the other
Before
is
or
the past
after.
perfect.
Past perfect.
Yeah.
So if it was past perfect, Omar had watched when his mother entered the room.
He can't
it
watch
would be
and
good.
finish watching when she entered the room. It's not
So
working.
from the context, it should be was watching, and his mother entering interrupted his watching. So it is Omar was watching TV when his mother entered the room. Number 5.
Number 5, we have while, this time with not with past continuous. Let's see it. While she was reading a book, this needs time. Reading a book needs time, and this is past progressive. The phone. Now, ring, this is general situation, and it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't ring all the time. Be rang, well, this is the best choice for now. Will ring, future, we can't use future with the past, so we can't have this choice. And the last one, has rang, again, this is present perfect, not working. So while she was reading a book, the phone rang. It happened suddenly, and it interrupted the act of reading. And here again, we're using while with past simple because it's interrupting.
Advice to the teachers, don't put the past continuous here in the choices because it may work.
Yes.
Someone is doing something while the phone is ringing, and ringing takes time. So if you put was ringing and rang, thinking that it should be rang, it is not correct. Teachers, please don't put was ringing with rang in the choices because both may work.
It's not
Also-
logical, but it
Yeah.
happens.
Yes,
You can
So ringing
sometimes
takes time.
the phone takes time ringing
Of
for
course.
about 30 seconds, sometimes for a minute.
Of
The
course, of
landline
course.
keeps ringing for 1 whole minute, and I'm concentrating on something. So while I was concentrating on the question, the phone was ringing, disturbing me. So it may work. That's why I say, please, dear teachers, don't put the past continuous as a choice in exercise like this. It should be only rang so that it would not be ambiguous.
Okay.
Number 6.
Number 6, yesterday at 7 o'clock we dinner at the restaurant. So here we have a specific period, so we're focusing on the duration. Yesterday at 7 o'clock.
We were doing something.
Yeah. So have, of course, doesn't go here. Be had, this needs time, it takes time. And are having, this is present continuous and it doesn't fit here with the past. So the only possible and correct option is D, were having dinner.
Yes. Usually, yesterday at 7 o'clock, it means we were in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So when we say we had dinner, it means we had dinner finished and we left the restaurant. Since
All
we
this at
were
7
still
o'clock.
in the restaurants, it is at that time we were having dinner at the restaurant. Number 7.
Number 7, and this is cliche, playing football. Football last Monday. We have last Monday. Play, it doesn't work. This is not a routine or habitual activity. B, played well. This is the best choice. C, I'm playing again last Monday with I'm playing not working. And D, have played again present perfect, and we have last Monday no. So it's letter B, played. Played because we have last Monday.
Played. And if you notice, dear teachers, we don't have were playing because it may work.
It may work, of course.
So don't put two acceptable choices so that the student will not be confused. Only one suitable question, which is played. I played football last Monday. Again, I'm going to move the slide.
And
It doesn't want to
when
respond.
teaching the past continuous tense, shouldn't we draw our students' attention to the fact that when the verb ends with an E, that we should omit it, and when adding ing?
Sorry, I was thinking about why
Yeah, I know.
the slide is
I
not moving.
I wanted to seize the moment. Yeah, like when we have verbs like have, prepare, they end with E. So when adding ing, we have to omit.
Yes.
And this could be like finding or spotting the mistakes.
Yes, usually we drop the vowel if it is E or I or Y. No, the Y does not drop. When it's E, we drop it. So when we add ed, we drop the E, and when we add ing, we drop the E. But when we add ed, we don't feel that we drop the first E because we still have ed. But when we add ing, usually we drop the E if the word ends in E. The director will say, please change the slide. The slide doesn't accept to change. I don't know why. Maybe I will try to escape. And let's go from this.
Well, the next section is going to be about the pronunciation.
Yes.
So, and it's the letter that looks like number 8 in Arabic.
A.
A.
Short vowel A.
Yes. Like words like bun, bum, bus, bud, bug, butt, hut, cut, cup, dug, fun, gun. So these are words that are pronounced with this sound.
So the symbol that looks like number
Eight
A
in
in Indian numbers,
Yes.
it is A sound, A sound. So here we have the words bun, bum, bus, bud, bug, butt, hut, cut, cup, dog, fun, gun. In the exam, this is very important because you may have a question saying which word is different. Either three words with the same pronunciation like this,
And one
bus, bud, bug, and the word bag, or sat, cat, hat, and bug. So bug is, you need to know how to pronounce it so that you can answer the questions.
Well, many students still find it difficult to know how to study pronunciation. If there is any piece of advice we can give them to...
It's very easy for grade 9 because in the pronunciation section you have some words and how to pronounce them. Learn how to pronounce them, and when you are in the exam you will find a question saying choose the word that is different, or a question from the book. The question from the book, if you know how to say the words that are mentioned in the book, you will be able as a student to choose the correct answer in the exam. At the end of this session, I want, before I thank you, dear colleagues, to thank Mr. Rafif Youssef, the director of the session, audio Mr. Baha Rizq, recording Mr. Sliman Fati, cameraman Mr. Basim Hassan, and electronic writing Mr. Youssef Turk. And thanks to my colleagues in the studio, Ms. Ula Al-Moui.
Thank you so much.
English Language Supervisor, Tartus Directorate, and Ms. Ula Subh.
Thanks for having us.
English Language Teacher, Tartus Directorate. And this is me, Abdul Majid Ogorli, Senior Supervisor and Coordinator of English Language. We wish you all the best. Take care and bye-bye.